We've been watching Dress Up Darling, or Sono Bisque Dol wa Koi wo Suru, every week since it came out. As a fan of the manga, I was excited as soon as I heard it was getting an adaptation. I literally couldn't wait to see Marin's falling over Gojo come to life with animation. And I must say, they did more than I ever could have asked for. Dress Up Darling is the kind of romance anime we don't get much nowadays. For a lot of people, the draw of Dress Up Darling is the fan service, or the insanely detailed rendering of cosplay outfits, or even just how cute Marin is. But for me, it's the story Shinichi Fukuda wanted to tell. A story of acceptance and growing past your insecurities without abandoning all the things you like. First off, let me address the elephant in the room. Yes, there is a lot of fan service in the show, and that might not be everyone's cup of tea. In fact, I know it's not, thanks to Twitter. But if you think that's all there is to the show, you have not been paying attention. I'm assuming everyone watching has at least seen some of the show, so I won't spend too long describing it. Dress Up Darling is a romantic comedy about Gojo, a shy and awkward Hina doll maker, and the loud, expressive, energetic Garu Marin. They bond over a growing shared love of cosplay and growing feelings towards each other. Don't worry, this show isn't slow on the romance. You'll be feeling the romantic tension quickly and you will love it, I promise. Now, if you haven't seen the show, go on, and come back when you've seen some. I've watched a lot of videos on Dress Up Darling, as I am wont to do with media I'm into, but doing that for this show has left me a little frustrated. I get the feeling like the message of the show is misunderstood, because of how pretty it is. The viewers get so focused on how pretty Marin is, that they come up with opinions like Gojo's a wooden plank self-insert, or Marin picked a random costume she saw online. Those are both real opinions I've heard, and let me tell you, both of them made me turn to my partner in exasperation. Actually, let me just correct those statements real quick. Gojo being a self-insert is super funny because not only is the mangaka a woman, the character of Gojo has a real depth that I find really relatable. He's a teenager who in the past has been shunned for something he's passionate about, and that's caused him to hide away from other people for a fear of being rejected. It might not be easy to understand if you've never been super into something, but trust me, it's real and it does suck. The comment about Marin's outfit choice really caught me off guard. The show makes incredible efforts to make sure you know that Marin really cares about the character she's cosplaying, to the point of breaking into tears upon seeing herself dressed as the character she loves so much. So I have no clue how you would come to the conclusion that she chose her outfits at random. About midway through the season, Marin and Gojo watched the entirety of a magical girl show just to prepare. We're talking about dedication to a craft that anyone who creates can understand. So you would think the people who make YouTube videos would understand the show to a deeper extent. With my ranting out the way, let's move on to what I feel is the core of Dress Up Darling's success. And that's realism. Normally anime characters are, well, characters. They're caricatures, and while you can observe traits that you might find in people you know, it's much rarer to find a show where you sit there and go, oh yeah, I know a Gojo or a Marin. And this is much more resonant for me because I've been watching the show with my partner, who's also my partner for making things for Mary Cutie.
Hello.
Good job.
Thank you, I'm so good at this.
As I mentioned earlier, Gojo starts off the show hiding away from society for a fear of rejection, whereas Marin is open about her passions and will not stand for anyone disrespecting them. You can see this in the first episode when she's being hit on and the guy insults the character she has pinned to her bag.
ねえねえ、それなんとかってアニメのやつ？超オタクじゃん。ないわ。
おめえがねえわ。
Unlike most modern romance anime, Dress Up Darling doesn't have Marin pull Gojo kicking and screaming into normal society. She just shows him a way of life where you can be proud of your passions and that not everybody is awful. On the flip side, Gojo shows Marin a passion and creativity that inspires her. They work so well together because they help build each other up and support each other. You know what really helps with this? Genuinely? The horniness. I'm not kidding. Having the characters be openly attracted to each other, and even, at times adds to this realism. He's flustered not because I'm an anime character. It's a realistic emotional response because Gojo gets turned on looking at Marin. The show has these really sweet, tender moments between the two of them that make them feel sincere and genuine. The scene where they go shopping, or the one where they hang out at the beach, just feel like normal couple stuff. No overly dramatic misunderstandings, and all the conflict ends when feelings are clearly communicated. The best parts of the series are when Marin fangirls over Gojo. Genuine, heartfelt emotion. Can we have more of this, please? Going back to the ecchi aspect for a second, I find it hard to articulate my exact reasonings as to why Dress Up Darling feels fundamentally different in its more plot-focused elements than something like To Love Ru. I think it comes down to consent to be in that scene. As far as I can remember, there's no scene with Marin where she's not comfortable with her state of undress. She even takes pleasure in teasing Gojo about his reaction. It makes each scene feel heavy with sexual and romantic tension without coming off as fan servicey purely for the viewer, even if it is gratuitous sometimes. The only chip in my theory for the show, however, is the existence of Sajuna Inui. Her introduction kind of flies in the face of what makes the fan service feel better to watch as a viewer. If you know the scene, you know it, but she did not consent to be seen in that level of undress as far as I know. That's the only time it happens in the show, however. This highlights that it's often the lack of consent in fan service that makes it seem very negative to the fans, who may not have gotten used to that unfortunate aspect of anime. But fan service itself isn't a bad thing. It's just hard to realise that it's been done badly quite a lot. I've seen some people talking about it like it's a harem, and this one just frustrates me, because there's no romantic attraction to or from Gojo from any of the side characters. Everyone admires Gojo's skill and passion, but only Marin is romantically attracted to him. As far as I've read in the manga, there are no new characters added to the romantic aspect. It's only the two of them and their ever-growing group of friends. The reason all of this hate is so annoying is because almost none of it's true. You could see that if you even vaguely paid attention. All the popular scenes from the show that end up being on Twitter are those genuine emotional scenes and romantic attraction. How could you doubt Marin's sincere love for Gojo, or their passion for the art of cosplay? Dress Up Darling is one of the best romantic animes, not just for this season, but for a good few years. So to see it unfairly trashed and insulted when there's far, far worse out there is really disappointing. Especially from people whose job it is to know better. Not naming no names. So this is a video to try and turn the tide, or at least maybe give the show another well-deserved fan. So that's why Dress Up Darling is really good, and deserves another shot if you skipped it.
Do you know what else is good? The sponsor of today's video, Emmett the Frog. Emmett came to us in a drug-fueled haze one Thursday morning, and we were filled with his holy light and birthed him into 3D. And now you can buy him! As per his holy frogginess's wishes, you must water him twice daily and repeat the phrase, "All I own belongs to the frog. I am the frog, and the frog is me." And his frogginess's blessing will rain down on you, like the soft pitter-patter of rain.
Links are in the description. Good job.